let me first apologize again for doing a quick capture here, but just kind of an observation along with a specific experience I've had. Why is it? And I know I can get all kinds of interesting, plausible answers from atheists, quote unquote, but it's really you believers out there, believers, scare quotes, that I'm addressing this to, because I'd really like to know, why is it that the mere act of asserting that I do not believe in your particular myths, why is that so offensive? When someone says, take a stereotypical example, that they don't accept the theory of evolution, you know, I have a hard time taking them seriously. I can explain why I believe in that based on evidence X, Y, and Z, but I don't get personally offended. It doesn't bother me if you believe something that I don't, right? It shouldn't, because it's your thing. But for some reason, I don't get it. Just people assume by default that, like, when I express that I don't believe in your God, that say it mean, for some reason people take that and take it to mean that I think Christianity should be against the law and we should tear down all the churches, and anyone who professes a love of Jesus should be put in prison or some bullshit like that, which is not what I advocate whatsoever. Like, this is I've even had this conversation with a friend of mine in real life off the internet who calls himself an atheist. He's seen some, but not all of my videos. You know, he's not a Rabbit Ape fan or anything like that. But I had a conversation with him, and basically he didn't explicitly say this, but you know, when you talk to people, you've got assumptions that you take for granted, and you can't preface everything with an explanation like I have a tendency to do, like right now. But this friend of mine thought that because I was an atheist, that meant, therefore, I am for outlawing churches and making Christianity against the law, and I don't think people should be allowed to practice their religion. And that's not what I am advocating at all. But just here's an example. So I posted a video for the Discover Magazine's evolution contest where I explain evolution in 120 seconds. And here's a link. You can look through the comments if you want. But in particular, okay, here's a comment from Desert Sun 2003. Rabbit Ape, I said you cannot separate the discussions, and this is of abiogenesis and evolution, because people on both sides of the fence never do. Of course, physically it is possible, which is basically what I said. There's abiogenesis and evolution; those are not mutually exclusive or inclusive arguments. You can have one without the other, and you know they're separate areas of inquiry. So he says, yeah, of course, physically it is possible, but I actually have no issue with people having different viewpoints. However, for some reason, when the subject of evolution arises, religion bashing begins and progresses to the point of violence. You have to let everyone be free, including the religious. And I left some comments here. I haven't heard back from this person. This happens all the time. So, first off, he says, however, for some reason, when the subject of evolution arises, religion bashing begins. My reply is, I'm not sure what you're talking about, outside of responses to people who object to the theory on purely religious grounds. I think it's fair to say that in that situation, some amount of religion bashing is necessary and or permissible, if not at least tangentially relevant, depending, of course, on how you define religion bashing. And as far as progressing to the point of violence, all I have to say is, huh? And then, more to the point of this video here, he says, you have to let everyone be free, including the religious. And here's my point. Here's my thesis of this video. I don't think I ever suggested otherwise. I don't know what you think you're arguing against. When have I advocated limiting someone's freedom of religion? That's it. Pretty simple question, right? So, you believers out there, I want you to either please connect those dots for me. You know, how is it just me expressing that I don't believe in your particular mythology? I don't think that equates me saying your mythology should be against the law, or that I would advocate abridging your freedom based on what I think. That's not what I'm saying. If you think I am implying that, how? Where?